Yo, what's up, you guys? Been on fire here, back with a video, and today we're going to bring you guys another defense in Madden 22. We're going to be back in the nickel 2-4-5 odd formation. You guys showed a lot of love on that first video, which was the cover 4 drop on the left side. So we're going to bring you guys the next play to this. If you want to see more from this, because we still have some other plays I could bring you guys, let me know down below in the comments. Show some love on this video, and we will bring that to you. Also, before we get into the video, once again, drop a big thumbs up on this video, subscribe to the channel down below, and follow all my links in the description just to stay updated with the channel. And if you have any questions, that is usually the best way to reach me. But hopping into the play, we're going to be in the Chicago Bears defensive playbook, probably the meta right now, just because it has odd, it has wide, and it has this nickel triple that you can blitz out of. I've talked about this. It also has 1-4-6, so probably is the meta defense. Honestly, might make a full ebook on this as well, but we're in the 2-4-5 odd. Now, one thing out of this that you can do is put safeties at linebacker, so we're going to throw a safety here. We, of course, have our safety here. Our user usually will be right here for this video, or for this play in particular, rather. And the player that's usually going to get the pressure is going to be this guy right here. Now, Hollins is one of the fastest guys on the Rams. He has 86 speed. He's decently fast. The fastest guy they have, I think, is 87. But you are going to want to put your fastest linebacker there. Guys like Micah Parsons and Ultimate Team work great, but that is the spot. And, I mean, yeah, you don't really need much more personnel things. Now, I will talk about some coaching adjustments later, some zone drops that you can do for this play later. Of course, in practice mode, you gotta love EA. There is no coach adjustments for some reason, but the actual play we're running is going to be pinch 2 on the left. You probably, odds are, if you've watched Madden recently, you've seen some people run this play. So we'll show you guys the basic setups, how to adjust out of it, and how to bluff blitz out of it, just certain things like that. But with that being said, let's get into it. Alright guys, now let's go ahead, hop into the actual defensive setup for this play. Now, one thing I'll say is that you don't want to run cover 2 every single play. That is not a good way to run defense. Usually the best thing you can do is flip between this, cover 4, and then another play that, again, if you want to see that, we'll bring it to you, but it's a kind of cover 3, of course. Now, there's other ways that you can do it, but don't run cover 2. Usually it's best to not run cover 2 even 2 plays in a row, because people will see cover 2 in the previous play, and guess what they're going to do? They're going to go to their bunch trails or verts of the world, and that is where you can get beat deep. But cover 2 can definitely catch people off. Sometimes when I face cover 2 in online, you don't really expect cover 2. It can catch me off guard, and if you're not in a cover 2 beater play, it actually is not a terrible defense like everybody says it is. So, hopping into the setup, really, I can just run this play stock. I do like to press, but I'll show you guys a variation of me pressing. Some people like the baseline press, so I'll show both, and I'll let you make a decision. Honestly, I don't see too big of a difference in the way that they're played outside of your outside cornerback, which would be Jalen Ramsey in this case. So the coverage, the blitz will pretty much be the same. The coverage would be the only thing that would be different in baseline pressing or just pressing. But we'll just go ahead and show the blitz first, and we're just going to throw McCaffrey on a little wheel route so he doesn't get in the way. Now, let's talk about the guy that's actually going to get free. Some people might think it's the corner. It's not. It's going to be the linebacker off the left. That's the guy you want to get free. It's either going to be him or Aaron Donald. Again, that's your fast linebacker. Sometimes the disengage will cause Donald to get free. Sometimes it'll usually be the linebacker. Now, you're going to use this guy, like I mentioned, especially against bunch, this guy on the right. And you don't have to do anything. You don't have to engage, but you do usually want to stand here in the gap. I've seen some people kind of stand on the right. I'll show you guys why. That's not my favorite thing to do, but we'll just let the ball get snapped. And now you see him screaming off the edge super perfectly. Again, I'm not doing anything special with my user. Let's go into the replay just to see it a little bit clearer here. And you see with my user, I literally just let the computer kind of take over there, but you see, just very nice coverage there, and of course, everything seems to be defended well. If I actually had my user, I would take away that spot route, but take a look at the blitz over here. You see, we just forced this instant kind of disengage, and he's just untouched. Their left tackle has no hope in defending him. Now, for whatever reason, even though this slot corner, you're probably wondering, if the blitz is working this well with like a 4-man look, why does this guy matter? I have seen, and I'll show you guys why, but usually when you don't blitz this slot corner off the edge, it seems like the blitz just blows up and it just doesn't work anymore. So I'll show you guys why. That was probably a question you had right when seeing that. Why are we even blitzing that guy? Well, you'll see why in a little bit, but we'll show the stock blitz a couple more times. Now we'll show it baseline press. You notice when you baseline, The outside linebacker does move a little bit out to that left-hand side. Does that make a difference? In more cases than not, it does not make a difference, which you see there, it pretty much doesn't. Now, you will see that animation when you run this blitz. Don't be scared by this animation. I've seen it a lot in practice mode with variation of teams, but sometimes you do get this animation where the left tackle is clearly on Aaron Donald, but he just suctions into the animation actually with your outside guy for whatever reason. I'm not sure what causes this, but it does kind of happen. It slows it down a little bit. I mean, at most, you see the routes are developed a couple steps more than they would be without. So it's a microscopic difference, but it is a weird animation, something that I thought I would mention because it does happen for whatever reason on occasion. So again, you see the zones do play well. Cover 2 is a defense that it takes time to beat, especially down the field. The cover 2 beaters take a lot longer than usually cover 3 beaters, just because you need like a super deep post from the left-hand receiver. In this case, you need a streak to get super far down the field, maybe from DJ Moore in the slot there. So it's not easy, and that's why you have to send pressure when you're running cover 2. So once again, we will just go ahead and snap the ball, and you'll see that the blitz should get off the edge. Perfect. We get that weird little disengage animation. Now again, where am I going to use her? Now, this is an interesting point. More times than not, you're going to have to use her in the middle of the field just because posts will get open. You need your deep halves to kind of play those deeper corner routes, which is, they do a pretty decent job at defending them, but you're going to kind of have to use her in the middle of the field. Now, there's going to be a couple of holes. One will be when you're running a 5-man blitz. It'll be, of course, the middle. It'll also be the intermediate flat. So it's going to be kind of this range where it's between the right hash of the tackle box and the numbers, that kind of gap, especially in bunch, it's used a lot. So one thing that I like to do is I like to go ahead and sometimes I'll talk about the coach adjustments now, what I like to do. Sometimes for this, I like to set my flats to 20 yards, and I like to set these vert hooks to about 5 yards of depth. This will get these vert hooks to kind of take away, especially on that left side, it'll take away any drag or any running back kind of out route to the left. But it does make you worry about the post. Now, really, that vert hook would not be doing much anyway, especially if he wasn't on the zone drop, so you might as well set him to the 5-yard mark and actually make him do something, because he's not going to take away a post from that left side, really. So that is something that you're going to want to do, and I do highly recommend that you guys do that. So we'll show you guys, I would show you guys what it looks like, but I actually will kind of move on to showing you what it looks like if we man up A. So ideally here with A, I would either man up maybe the tight end, or I would man up B because B's on the corner route, or maybe I man up RB. Depends on how he's running bunch or what plays he's going to, but we'll man up B for now. And I'll show you guys how the blitz just does not usually work. I've seen it work rushing 4, but now we're going to snap it, and I mean, it actually did work here. I can't say that this happens every time, and I'm sure when we run this more, it will not happen every time, but of course, the time I say that, it actually does work. Pretty wild there. So now let's see if it works. I don't expect it to, and hey, maybe it's our lucky day. We just got it to work twice. Trust me, in online play, I'm not sure if anything's different for practice mode online. It usually is, but it was kind of interesting that we just saw that twice. Here you actually see the rare animation where you get this disengage. Actually, McCaffrey helps us a lot here. So thank you, McCaffrey. He separates this so that we guarantee that that linebacker will come free. And now we get a disengage from Donald. So you see 2 guys getting free. This is 4-man rush against 5-man pressure. Again, I'm not sure what's causing this to work all of a sudden, but when I labbed this earlier, it almost never worked. Maybe 15% chance of it working, but now that we turn on the cameras, surprisingly, it is working. I actually haven't seen something like this. Here you see it get blocked, this is what the blocking will usually look like when they block 5 against your 4-man blitz, but I mean, heck, if you aren't getting pressure rushing 5, maybe you just send the 4 anyway, because if he's blocking his tight end, maybe it's worth a shot. Now, of course, when they block their running back, usually the pressure will not get there, as you might expect. You're, of course, blocking your running back. You would expect him to pick him up, which usually does happen. Now, but you still see the coverage for a play like this is pretty decent. You see how the soft squat and the deep half do a kind of good job of working together. Soft squat's one of the best zones this year, by the way, but I'll show you guys kind of what I've seen some people run this blitz like, and weird enough, I've seen some people kind of stand here, and when the ball is snapped, they'll kind of run over here. I'm not sure if this frees up that slot cornerback off the edge. I have seen situations where the slot cornerback gets pressure. I can't say that I've explored this blitz enough to know exactly why or what you have to do, but I have seen people kind of stand here in this gap here, and then when the ball is snapped, they kind of run over here, and this will actually, oh, well, you see it there. This actually does free up the slot cornerback, so we're kind of labbing on the fly right here. So maybe if you want to open up the slot corner, you kind of stand here and hover over here. You see we still get one man off the edge, and this will actually, I guess, cause you to get 5. So maybe I'm an idiot, and maybe I should have been running like this from the beginning, which is something I didn't know, but it is kind of extra work. You do have to hold your user down for maybe a little bit longer, but it can be a benefit because in this situation, if they were to block their running back, you would still get a man free, which is definitely useful. Now, I believe this style does work hands down better when you are baseline press, but again, you just kind of stand here, and when the ball is snapped, you kind of run over here, and now you see the slot corner. He did get picked up there, but it was close. But you see with your user, it's pretty much difficult to kind of user things from there. That's why I'm not the biggest fan of this version. I do need to try it out online more because it could be glitchy by the looks of it, but maybe I'm also holding it down too long, but kind of run over here, run back up. You see we still get the disengage on that left side, but it's a give or take. I would mix between the both of them. If you notice in blocking 6, probably your best bet is just kind of stand over there, but if you know he's only going to block 5, you might as well just kind of stand in this position and wait for the ball to be snapped, because then I can just run up immediately, and now we get the disengage, and now my user is pretty far back to take away any kind of a deep route that he might throw. So you can decide between the two. As far as kind of a complete bluff blitz out of this, I have a couple of ideas for this. Of course, you can just go with the man up the slot corner, and then maybe with X, I man up the running back. So maybe I just man up the tight end, man up the running back. Those are the two guys who are always good in Madden, in that you want to force him to throw it to his receivers. This would not be the best or the worst defense on the planet. I'll definitely say that. It would pretty much take away the majority of things, and you bluff him. You get him to block his running back now. And now he's just running a play like this, and you can more or less take away everything. Again, the corner route, it does kind of look open there. If you have fast safeties, they will be able to make plays. If you have slow safeties, it won't be as good of a defense for you, I'll say that, but it still does work. And again, corner routes, you don't see corner routes too often out of bunch as much this year. You see more verticals, you see more flood, you see more double post, mesh post. So I don't see too much corner routes, which is probably a bad example of me even choosing this play, but that would be a good way to do it. Again, that is just, you pretty much just man up X on Y and A on A, and you are set. Again, if I wanted to, I could also double flat on this left side, and I could double flat on this right side, just like here. Maybe I put one of these guys in the middle, which would be difficult because, again, they're hovering on the line, so the odds of them getting back anyway is pretty much slim to none. So at that point, you might as well just go back and user it yourself. But if I were running this style, I would, of course, adjust my curl flats, but you're rushing 3, don't expect to get any pressure, especially this year. Rushing 3, you're not going to get any pressure, so I don't do it. Some other ways you could bluff blitz, maybe if you have a scrambling QB, he's blocking his running back and he's just evading the pressure getting out of the pocket, which this should contain the pocket decently, blitzing those two guys off the edge, but maybe I want to spy one guy, I'll man up B here, and then we'll just spy Y, or we'll spy X and we'll leave Y in his hook curl zone. So you can do something like this with the 3-man rush. If you really want to rush 4, you can just blitz him off the edge like this, man up one guy, or I could just spy A, something like this. There's a couple of options you have. Again, the blitz can sometimes get pressure the way it did right there, and we only rushed our 4 people. So sometimes if your pressure is not getting through with 5, you can still run 4 and get the pressure. But again, this does kind of work a little bit different online. I've seen it work very well, but I've also seen some things that will block it well. So again, depends on the formation. I ran it against bunch because the majority of people run bunch, but of course it does work against every other formation in the game, as you might expect. But that's pretty much going to do for the video. If you guys enjoyed, drop a big thumbs up on the video, subscribe to the channel down below right now. Follow my links in the description once again, and peace. I'm out of here.